welcome back to the YouTube channel. I know it's been a little while since I posted anything on the build that I announced just like a month or so ago, but finally got parts coming in, and I finally got the ability to do everything kind of all at once, especially when we're assembling the engine, because you can't really put bearings in and then just wait for parts to come in. So a little hold up on some of the stuff that we had to get from like Texas Speed and BTR, and then time at the machine shop, but we have everything to be able to basically get it from intake manifold to oil pan. So kind of excited. This is going to be her first time actually assembling anything like this, or really doing anything like this. It's kind of the whole part of the build, and the whole point of doing this together is spending time together. It's a beautiful day outside. Temperature's pretty much perfect for it. We're going to have a little music going on in the background, a little air swirling around with the fan. We're going to have a good time out here putting this together. And for those that don't know, this engine came out of 2001 Chevy Silverado 2500 automatic truck, 6-liter LQ4. You know, pretty much run-of-the-mill 6-liter, but it's got 525,000 miles on the block, and the crank. We got new rods out of a Gen 4 6-liter LQ9, and we got new BTR pistons. We're going to be going with some Malley bearings, whole actually Malley gasket kit. Really just kind of progressing down through the best we can build this super cheap, essentially, and get it in her RXA so she can enjoy it this summer. So we'll see how we progress, but the first thing we're actually going to take off and do is we're going to machine out the since the walls of the cylinders are actually fairly decent. Down inside, I think I may have seen in the video earlier of a little time lapse there. If you look down inside the cylinders, you'll be able to see where the rings are raking up and down, you know, scraping the oil, doing their job. But at the bottom of that is just fired oil. It's hardened up, and we're going to actually break that stuff off and get that cleaned up and put some cross hatching back into the cylinder walls. Not really trying to remove any material. Just get them cleaned up so that they can hold a little oil. So this engine will last, you know, a couple years is probably what we're looking for. So we're going to use this dude right here, light pressure, because these can get carried away pretty quick, and get these cylinder walls cleaned up. So they're going to be doing some time lapse through a lot of this stuff, and just kind of showing you guys a little bit. I'll be jumping in and keeping you updated as to what we're doing. So I'll be keeping you guys updated throughout the assembly, and kind of tell you what's going on and describe some of the parts that we got going on this thing. So thank you again for just coming back to the channel and following up on this build, because we got a whole lot more planned for this thing. But let's get this engine assembled. So we got this whole side taken care of. She's working on the other side, and as you can see, we have mission complete. Some of the stuff is just not going to come out, but to be honest, that's been baked on there for 20 years. It's not going to come out. We were sanding some of it away, but I just wanted to get down and get this lip where that actually the ring does bottom out, because I definitely didn't want the ring to hit that and then be the one to take that away. So we actually got it down there pretty decent. You can see that the cross hatching is working really, really well. I've been measuring, making sure we haven't been removing any material, and we haven't. And for the engine, as old as it is, and how it's doing, we've only lost some. It's set up for 4 inches because it's a 4-inch bore, and I don't think that is too bad for 500,000 miles. I mean, they're all in really good shape. So this one's in exceptionally good shape for 500,000 miles. But anyway, so we're just having a ball doing this. This is the first time I ever did this with this camera. But we're going to be continuing just doing what we're doing, plugging away. And next after this will be checking the rings gaps and getting the pistons in here soon. As you can see here, we've got mallet rings, got them off of Summit, and we got a ring grinder here. And all we got to do, Hayden, excuse me, shush. Thank you. The peoples are trying to figure this out. They want to see what's going on here. You're cute. I love you. Yes. So anyway, we have our sets of rings here, and what we got to do is put them in the block, grind down until we get the fitment on a feeler gauge for the cylinder that is required, and then stick them on the pistons, and we get the pistons in the holes. Alright guys, so what we got going on here is we've got the ring in the cylinder, and we're checking the gap right here, that ring gap right there with the feeler gauge, and that slid right in there, although that's not what we're at.
It's 22.
It's 22, so we took off 2 thou off of the ring with our manual ring grinder. I don't do this enough, so I don't need a fancy electric one. It's just a simple, screw it to the deck, turn this, you push the ring into this right here, and it grinds it down. Pretty simple. So here's the hole. We're gonna put the ring back in here after we grind it down some more, just like that, and open it up and get it to fit. Alright guys, so like I was saying before, these are BTR pistons. There's going to be a little bit more chunk to these, but we got all of our rings on, and all of the measurements turned out good. Try to get focus here. So now we got our absolute hateful piece of equipment to get this piston into hole number 7 is actually the ones we started on. So anyway, we're going to get that thing on and get that into the hole, and then we'll go forward. Alright, so we got our piston good to go. Now we're lining out to get the crank in here. We cleaned out where the bearings were. There was some gunk build up in these cracks right here. And we've done a little bit of other wiping down with the lint-free cloth, getting everything ready to put the crank in here. We're using the same crank. It's over here. 524,000 miles just sitting here next to the nitrous bottle, but it's going to serve us just good. So get this thing put in with our new Clevite bearings. Yeah, Clevite. These say Mal, but the box said Clevite. And we also have a stud kit, main stud kit. So we'll be utilizing that, just trying to do everything right way the first time. Alright, so we're opening up our ARP stud kit. We got all the bearings in, and the crank's in here ready to go. We're ready to put in the studs and get this thing bolted down so we can get the pistons in it. How are you enjoying this so far? I told her she didn't have to talk. I was trying to get her. It's okay. So anyway, we'll get the studs in and everything like that, then we start putting the pistons in. So I think that we can say that it's actually going pretty well. Just, making sure we're cleaning up as we can and getting everything in and, assembled correctly. But as a first engine for a couple, she's diving right in and actually pushing me along because I'm trying to be extremely picky. But she's like, hey, well, what's next? What are we doing? So anyway, we're getting this thing put together, and we'll get the studs in, get it anchored down, and ready to put the pistons in. Alright guys, so she's now torquing down the mains with the ARP hardware, and following this list here is quite extensive, but we'll be able to get everything torqued down and right, and then we can go on with the piston installation. Focused and hard working. Seen it. So anyway, hopefully this video isn't ended up being too long, but it's now 9 o'clock. We ain't ate supper yet, and the kids are probably getting hungry. That's my fault, because I'm kind of cooking it at the same time we're doing this. So we're get this torqued down, and then we'll see how far we get through tonight. Alright guys, so we're getting the last connecting rod onto the crank here. She's been hard at work. We've been hard at work. We actually had to skip an entire day just so we could get back to this. We had some adulting to do, but Anyway, it's all coming together pretty well. She's having a ball. You can see all the expression on her face. See, smiles. There, it's working out. It's all working out. It's a master plan. It's coming together. Anyway, so we're gonna just put this down with the speed wrench, and then we're gonna do a final torque here in just a few minutes.
We'll be ready to start at any moment.
Yeah, we got keys in there, clutch is down. We're ready to start it.
Yep.